All right, what's good? What's good? Welcome back to the show. Let's get the people a few minutes to slide up in here, man, before we go ahead and get to it. Let's give the people a couple of minutes to slide in, man. Duma Sonny, what's good, bro? Bago, what up, man? Love by few, what's good, brother? What's good? We're gonna get the people a few minutes to slide in, man. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me loud and clear, man. Let me turn my mic up just a little bit. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me loud and clear, man. Everything should be good right now. Black Suit, what's good, brother? What's good? My brother King Abraham, what's good, brother? Good to see you in the joint, man, as usual. Good to see you in the joint. Get people a couple more minutes. Pastor Eke, what's good, brother? Good to see you in the joint as well. Mad Games, what's good? Yep. Mm-mm. Ja, what's good? What's good? Good to see you in the joint, man. Hey, Bell, what up with you, bro? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Glad you brothers could make it in here, man. The Swerthy Wizard, what up, Kenfolk? Good to see you in the joint, man. Appreciate y'all, man, being in the joint. Glad y'all can make it to the show today. All right, let's get ready to do it, man. Let's get ready to do it. Give him another minute, man. We'll give him another minute before we get in it. King Will, what's good, brother? What's good? These nuts. What's up with you, bro? Good to see you in the joint. My brother Logical Thoughts, salute to you, man. Good to see you in the joint. Always good to see you in here, man. All right, man. We got about another 45, 35 minutes, 35 seconds. Another 35 seconds, man, and we'll go ahead and get it in, man. I know the guys will be showing up as we begin the show. I've been out of pocket for a minute, man, so I'm a B Max. What's good, brother? Been out of pocket for a minute, man, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave the chat open today, man. I hope y'all okay with that. I mean, unless we get some suckeration off in here, man. We get some suckers off in here, man. We're gonna go ahead and we gotta do what we gotta do. But right now, man, we're gonna work with what we got. I appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate it. All right, let's get ready to do this, man. Let me go ahead in here and get ready just in case. You gotta be ready. Just in case we gotta go incognito, man. Let's go ahead and get ready just in case we gotta do it. So I can go ahead and jump on it real quick. All right, brother. So Herring, what's good, brother? I see you. I see you. So I was talking to someone, man, and they asked me just a pointed question. What do you think about social media? Is it good? Is it bad? Are you indifferent? And I said, you know what? I'm going to answer this with a piece of content. And I know my partner listening in, so salute to you, man. I thought about it. And I thought about most people's interaction with social media. And I said, you know what? Social media is one of the most efficient and effective tools that has ever existed in our society. It is one tool that does more than any other one tool could possibly do. And that's give you information, whatever information you seek. And therein lies the problem. There is no safeguard, there is no governing faction that controls what you have access to on social media. And this is the first time in our history, for sure, that any of us have been alive where there was something that was absolutely not being governed by anyone except your own ability to resist temptation. So today we'll discuss 10 ways social media, or the evil side of social media, robs you of your blessings. Because honestly, social media in itself is not bad. There is a bunch of positive things you can do with social media. You can share information. You can move around in places that you don't even have to visit physically. You can connect with people all over the world. There are opportunities for education. There's opportunities for business all over the world. But there's also access to every single sin known to man and some that we may not even know. So let's get into this. The first way social media robs you of your blessings is you let your charitable acts be known and cheered. Now, you may say, well, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with me letting people know the good I do? How do you want to be recompensed for your charitable acts? Do you want the validation or do you want financial increase? Because you're not going to get both. You're only guaranteed one return on your investment. Only one return. So if you're constantly telling everything you do and people, you getting all those likes and all those comments and all of that, and you're sharing everything and people are giving you all of that, that good feeling you get, that's your payoff. If you notice, people who are the most successful, they don't talk about what they do a lot. They don't talk about their charitable contributions. They don't talk about what they do for people. Because there's no need to be seeking that validation for that. You want your validation to come in the form of gifts. You want your validation to come in the form of financial increase. You want your validation to come in the form of reach. You don't want your validation to come in the form of likes and comments and shares and all of that. Now, if you're a content creator, that's different. You're giving a specific piece of information for people to like, share, and all of that. But I'm talking about when you share your travel act. Well, I went today, I gave this to somebody. My sister needed to borrow $20. Well, the school needed this. I saw this homeless person, and I did this, and you get that validation and all of that, and then that's it. That's what you get for that. You don't get no financial increase for that. Why you think the poorest people always giving the most, but they also always talking the most? Validation dopamine is a return that we enjoy. That's why we talk all the time about don't worry about validation. Don't seek validation. Validation is a reward. So when you do a good deed and you put it out there and you get validation for it, that good feeling you get, that dopamine you get, man, that is what happened. You just got your reward for that. There is no other reward coming for that. There is no other reward coming for that. And I put that one first because I know that's one that most people won't even think of. You won't even think of the fact that when you put information out there about all the good things you're doing and you get that validation from that, that is your reward. You can't say, well, I got my validation, now I need my pay. That's not how it goes. The people who receive the most in return for giving are the people who give in the most silence. Man, I got partners right now, man, give millions of dollars a year. And if you don't know them personally, you won't know it. Hell, even I don't know the amount. Just knowing them, I know they give, and I know they give, and I know they give, and I know they give. And they sit living what we call a ball of life just off the dividends of their dividend providing stocks. You know what I mean? And I want y'all to understand something. We have to be in the frame of mind where we understand that social media is either to share valuable information or get valuable information. That should be the height and low of the uses that you use it for. Anything outside of that starts to get into other things. If there's not some information I need or some information that I have to give that other people may need, I'm not sharing anything. And we'll get into some more ways why you shouldn't be sharing everything on social media. All right. Number 2, sharing your opinions on everything, whether misguided or not, it can damage your own outlook on things. You can start to believe that your opinion is valid because you receive enough support for your negative ideas. It'll make you think it'll make you think they're positive. Well, maybe I was viewing it all wrong, and maybe I was wrong. I thought this was a negative thing, but look at all the people who agree with me. If all the people agree, it must be right. So now your whole mindset about your own thoughts change, even though you know it's not what you ought to be doing. Let me tell you something. You can talk about any sin that you want to and post it online that you're thinking about it, and watch how many people give you justifications when you know good and well it's a sin. When you know absolutely that you're crossing God, when you know absolutely that you're going against the word of the Most High, and watch how many people tell you all the reasons you should do it, all the reasons it's not bad. And after a while, listen, I I consider myself a godly man, but I'm not gonna test that. I'm not gonna start putting stuff out there, the temptations and all of that. I'm not gonna put that out there because I don't know if I get enough positive information. Am I gonna be like, well, or confirmations that I need that this is not a bad thing? Am I gonna say, well, you know what, maybe it ain't that bad? I don't know, and I ain't taking no chance. I would like to believe I wouldn't, but why test that theory? Because as a creator, I'm gonna tell you, man, those likes matter. Now they matter to me for a different reason. They may matter for somebody just posting a picture of themselves, a scantily clad picture. And we'll get into that later because that's also one of the 10 ways that social media can rob you of your blessings. You must remember, man, that there are people who live the life that you know you shouldn't be living. And so they have already justified it for themselves. They can tell you 10 reasons why you should be sleeping with somebody else's wife. They can tell you 10 reasons why it's okay for you to be, skimming money off the top at your job. They can tell you 10 reasons why it's okay for you to be, stealing time off the clock, clocking in when you ain't there and clocking out when you ain't there and doing all of these things, or clocking out early, or not clocking out, or leaving work and like you still there and then come back and clock out when it's time to go. They can tell you all the reason why you should do this. And most of the time is a victim mentality. Justification for wrongdoing is 9 times out of 10 going to come from a victim mentality. Victimization rules this nation. Everybody has someone to blame for their wrongdoing. Everyone does. And our goal is to not be that type of person or those types of people. Because I'm telling you, you can think something is wrong, or you could think something may be wrong, have all type of negative energy around it and all of that, and man, turn right around and you talk to enough people about it, man, they'll change your mind about it. Let's say you about to make a decision to make a purchase. You talk to enough people about it, they'll make you make that dumb purchase. I know somebody right now, man. They was in the market for a car. We don't buy a brand new car, but they were in the market for a car. Um, you know, a late model car. What is 2025 now? They were in the market for like a 2022, and they bought it. Unfortunately, it was a Jaguar. You know what Jaguar is? A vehicle that's very expensive for just maintenance. Oil change on that car, man, $300. Oil change, $300. And the crazy thing is, you can't just pull it up to any dealership. You can't pull your Jaguar up to the Ford dealership. You can't pull your Jaguar up to the Toyota dealership. You got to find somebody who specializes in European vehicles, because not everybody can do it. Man, you could barely pull it up to a Jaguar dealership. They just sell them. They ain't really got nobody in there that can fix them for real. Not in the deep south for sure. So I just want y'all to understand, you have to know that receiving enough support for negative ideas will make them positive in your mind. It's not a matter of if it will, it's a matter of when it will. Number 3, wasting time scrolling, absorbing irrelevant information. This should be number 1 and number 10. Wasting time scrolling, absorbing irrelevant information is one of the greatest waste of your time you could ever employ. I'm talking about what are you going to do with all of this irrelevant information? All of this information about all of these topics and all of these people and all of these news stories and all of these acts and all of these sports and all of this, man, it doesn't even matter to be scrolling, receiving all of the information. Because here's the problem. And you may say, well, there's nothing wrong with information. Information is okay. Well, let me tell you the problem with information. First of all, time is irreplaceable. So using it productively is paramount to anything you want to achieve in life. Wasting time is, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You might well, if you're gonna just spend your whole life wasting time, man, you might well just go and you might well go and end it all, man. You're a waste of space. So time is irreplaceable. So using it in this way, it just doesn't benefit anything. And also, you only have so many hours of brain productivity. The most successful people in life, they get all of their work done early in the day. The people in life who just tootle through life and just, oh, I'm just gonna make it through, they really don't get active till noon. And when you understand and you're around people who are successful, they get up fully rested, and the first thing they do is get about their business. They don't pick up their phone and scroll first. I suggest that you set your alarm on your phone and put your phone in the other room on airplane mode. So you can't be interrupted, can't be anything. You don't get no alerts. Put it on airplane mode in the other room. Set your alarm. So when your alarm goes off, you got to get up and go turn your alarm off. You're already on your feet. Let me tell you something. It's easy to hit snooze when you're still in bed. It's hard to hit snooze and go back and get into bed. It's hard to. You got to really be lazy or tired or sick or drunk in order to do that. So when you taking in all of those pieces of irrelevant information, your limit for growth in all areas is just you lose it. You can't grow if you are wasting all of your most productive hours absorbing irrelevant information. Just scrolling. I'm talking about, listen, let me tell y'all something, brother. When I go to dinner, either with family or whoever, if you're going with me, because anytime somebody go on me, I'm paying. If you're going with me, I mean, unless I'm with one of my business partners. But then me and my business partner, man, we go places, man. If we are gonna go out and grab a bite, man, we go somewhere that got pool tables. While we waiting on our food, we shoot pool. You know what I'm saying? And then we chop it up while we at the table. We don't have a lot of opportunity to chop it up. We all busy. So we chop it up when we at the table, when we, at the bar. Well, most time we sit at the bar because, we don't want to be, unless they got big tables in the middle of the floor. Okay, we don't want to be, we ain't finna sit in no booth, man, be paying footsies, man. Let me tell you something. Certain things we don't do as OGs. I'm not finna sit at no booth and eat no meal with no man. We not finna be, I'm on one side of the booth, you on the other, we on there playing footsies. At some point, our feet gonna touch. I don't want to play that game. It ain't got nothing to do with no preference or no orientation or anything. It got something to do with, man, why do I want to be playing footsies with another dude? And that's OG stuff. But anyway, so we no phones. We put them phones down. My family out with me, man, everybody put their phone down. Leave your phone in the car. We put them phones down. And when I look around, bro, and most time when I'm out, I eat by myself because I travel a lot. I'm up in somewhere, bro, I'm looking around, and I promise you, there are families at the table with 5 people, and everybody got their face stuck in the phone. These people ain't even talking. And I mean, even when they start eating, they eat a little bit, they got their phones laying on the table, which is very unsanitary, by the way. Those phones are filthy. But they got their phone laying on the table and they still at it. You look around you. I want y'all to do that this week. While you're out especially this weekend. While you're out this weekend moving around, not the Sabbath day, now be at home on Sabbath day. But when you're out moving around, dog, I just want you to look and see how many people are on their phones. When a woman come to visit me, dog, she put her phone down. She don't even touch it. You may get into it and say, well, that's cause she don't want you to know. I don't care what she don't want me to know. All I'm saying when she around me, she don't need to be messing around with that phone. That's one of the requirements for me. Because you got to understand, if you scrolling all day, you can't even track how much irrelevant information you've taken in. And then you wonder how come you just can't seem to get going. How this idea you had to turn your side hustle into a business, how come it's been a year and you ain't did it yet? You done already got your LLC, but you ain't did nothing with it. You wonder how come, you was working on this project, you got this car you was rebuilding, and you was on it for a minute. But now when you're out there, it seems like you out there 4 hours to get an hour worth of work done. Why? Because you keep scrolling on your phone. You out there trying to listen to 1 minute clips while you working. Man, how you gonna do that? Because eventually you're gonna hear something you don't want to hear. Then you wonder why when you are on social media, they're able to send you an ad. You done just visited a site that you shop at, and now they sending you an ad from that site on your joint because you're on so much that it's easy for them to track you. They send you everything you like, everything you're interested in, because you're always on social media being tracked. And that's another thing. Look how easy it is to track you. You're being followed everywhere you go on social media. You're being followed continually. Not just social media, online, period. You're being followed, but social media is the place where you give the most of your information freely. You move around social media like it's your neighborhood that you live in. You move around, listen, you move around with your information naked like you move around your house after you get out of the shower. That's the comfort you have in these areas. You don't even know what it is. Also, that leads to number 4, embracing the metaverse as an effective alternative to the universe. Like people live in the metaverse. The only time they come out is when they got to be at their job. Mess around, let them work at home. Stay at home mom, boy, you know why stay at home mom don't want to cook and clean and take care of the babies now? Because they take away from their social media time, take away from their scroll time. The metaverse is starting to replace the universe in people's brains, man. Man, I'm an OG. I'm from the payphone era. Dog, I live in the metaverse. I mean, my bad. I live in the universe. You know why I live in the universe? Because I was raised in the universe. You mean people now, dog, they were raised. You meet a woman now that's 30 years old, dog, she was raised in the metaverse. She was raised in the metaverse. She don't even know what the universe is. Everything she want to do, everything she aspires to do is something she sees on social media. She don't even have no dreams, goals, and aspirations from once upon a time. You got kids out here now that have never played a sport in their entire lives, and they have this dream that they're going to be a professional player. Now, it's possible for you to just be so athletically gifted that you can catch on to a sport. But you got kids who aren't athletic, who believe that they're going to suddenly be a star because they see on social media, they see other kids out there doing it. So they're like, that can't be that hard. Also, video games tying into the evil side of social media. You got people out here, man, who when you look at games like Grand Theft Auto, when you look at games like that, bro, man, these kids are out here really living Grand Theft Auto like they're doing things from the game in real life because to them, the metaverse and the universe are the same. They have been raised to believe that the metaverse is an effective replacement for the universe. But there's even one worse. You could even go worse than that. And that's when you embrace or allow the metaverse to completely replace the universe. And now the metaverse is your reality. That's why you believe you can go out there and pull off a Grand Theft Auto scheme where you put the switch on somebody and you take their car, and then you wonder why you in prison. You didn't go to prison on the game, did you? No. That's why you wondering how you can go out here and you're gonna find a Russell Wilson out here because you're living in the metaverse, right? The metaverse is your reality. There's a Russell Wilson out here for you too, right? Well, how if no other celebrity has a Russell Wilson, how you gonna get you one? There's one Russell Wilson and one Steve Harvey. How's a woman gonna get her Russell Wilson, Steve Harvey when she ain't even in the areas or the aspects of life to run into these guys? But the metaverse tells you you can do whatever you want to do. It can happen to you too. Yes. Why do you think BBLs are going where they're going? Ozempic and all of these things because everyone is looking for a quick fix. The difference between the metaverse and the universe is in the metaverse, there's a quick fix for whatever is wrong. In the universe, you got to work, you got to grind, you got to grow. You live in an environment right now, man, even dating. You meet a woman and she believes that just because y'all met, you supposed to start paying her bills. Guys tell me all the time, man, about how they talk to a woman on the phone, and the first thing the woman said, literally, hey, what's going on, baby girl? And then too much. Need my rent paid, my car note, and need to get my nails done, hair done, buy some groceries. Need buy my daughter some medicine. Need to buy my son some shoes. I'm talking about first conversation. Shit, she ain't even said, "Hey, how you doing?" Just then, just I sure need I sure need to pay my rent. This is the world we live in. I'm telling you, the world has gone to another existence. It exists in a realm that I don't exist in. It exists in a aspect of existence that I'm not familiar with. So I just stay over here in the universe. The universe is real problems in the universe, man. There's things that you got to take care of and handle in the universe. You know what I mean? Bunch of things out here. And I just want y'all to understand that we cannot allow ourselves to be so caught up in a world that doesn't exist that we forget to tie ourselves into our responsibilities to really build something in the world that does exist. And that's one of the main things. Allowing the metaverse to become your reality is a serious issue, man. It is a serious issue. I mean, you meet people, man, and they really believe some of the strangest things. I'm like, you really believe that that's going to happen? Like, you really believe you can do that? You got people now, man. Listen, people use filters on their pictures so much, man, that you meet a woman now, man, she'll send you a picture with a filter on it. I'm talking about like from straight from your phone to hers, she'll send you a picture with a filter on it. Like, what? I know what you look like for real. Why are you putting a filter on this picture? I'm telling you, man, this is what the metaverse has done for everyone. It has made them realize their dream of perfection. Even though it's not reality, it can be presented as perfection. If your skin is bad, you know what you can do? You can smooth it out with a filter. If you're a little bit overweight, you know what you can do? You can thin yourself out with a filter. If you broke, you can replace your background with a filter. You could put fake stacks of money in front of you with an app. You in the metaverse, you can be who you want to be, bro. I've heard grown men talking about cars that they've purchased in a game. Like they can't even really drive it physically, but they're so entrenched in being the character that they are in this game that they enjoy driving the Lamborghini in the game and don't let them have a steering wheel adapter that they use and they actually steering. They put themselves within the metaverse, bruh, and they live that life, even though in reality they don't even have a car. No car, not a bucket, not a Hully bucket or a Scully or nothing. They have nothing. I'm telling you, that's the world we live in, and I'm telling you, it's a scary place to be because when people don't understand reality, they don't understand the consequences and repercussions of their decisions in the real world. All right, number 5, you start judging righteousness by material wealth. And I'm going to be honest with you. That is one of the craziest things that happens. You start judging righteous by material wealth because people tell you the Lord don't speak through regular people. And for example, how are you going to listen to a man who ain't rich? If God was with him, he'd be rich. You understand me? If God was with him, he'd be rich. God ain't with no man who ain't rich. Let me tell you something. He ain't with no man who ain't rich. If that man ain't driving no Lamborghini, that man ain't living in no mansion, that man ain't got no $1 million, that man is not godly. God do not deal with that man if he ain't got $1 million. I don't even know why you listen to that foolishness. But I'm going to tell y'all something right now. We're going to go to Proverbs 11:4. We're going to talk about how the Most High feel about that. That's how God feel about that. Proverbs 11:4. Riches profit not, in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. So you see, there ain't no connection with righteousness with righteousness and riches. I'm not saying you can't be righteous and rich, but just because you're rich don't mean you're righteous. You need more? Okay, I got more for you. Let's go to Proverbs 10 and 22. Hold up. Gotta use my semicolon here. Proverbs 10 and 22. The blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it. What does that mean? That means that if your riches come from the Most High, you ain't got no haters, you ain't got no grief, you ain't got no sorrow, you ain't got no lawsuits, you ain't got none of that. Nothing comes with it. You ain't got no negative reputation or any of that comes with it. Riches to a righteous man is something that can't be touched by nothing wicked, nothing evil. You understand me? I'm telling you what's real. I'm gonna give you one more. I'll give you Proverbs 13 and 22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. When you think about it, so if the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just, isn't that an indication that you can be a sinner and still have wealth? If the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just, you can have wealth and still be a sinner. See, righteousness is engaged by that, but if you're on social media enough, you will start to believe that it is. Get a sip of water here. That wasn't a sip, that was a swig. My bad. So you got to remember, brothers, that we don't have to be of the mindset that we can't live the life we want to live because we got to be caught up in the metaverse. We got to be caught up on social media. Man, these people will have you believing that you can't trust people who are trustworthy. They'll have you believing you can't follow people who were put here by the Most High to be leaders. They'll have you wondering if you should be more concerned with getting paid and getting laid than your relationship with God. We'll talk about that tomorrow. That'll be our show tomorrow. What's more important to you? Getting paid, getting laid, or your relationship with God? What's more important? Because we got to start making the decision in our lives. You understand me? The number 6 way that social media robs you of your blessings. It drives you to emotionality over rationality. Now, how does it do that? How does it do that, King Ray Ray? Propaganda, hyperbole, and shock value are meant to make you feel, not think. If I say something that triggers you emotionally, what kind of response are you going to give me? An emotional response. If I say something that makes you either hate or love something, what kind of response you going to give me? An emotional response. If I say something to make you angry, what kind of response you going to give me? An emotional response. If I say something that shocks you, what kind of response you going to give me? The first one that comes to mind. None of this is rational. None of this is logical. All of this is feeling. You're going to say the first thing you feel when I give you some with shock value. So you spend your entire time on social media, eventually you're going to be coming on all types of things. Now, do I come in on things? Yes. On my main channel, I use a lot of clips. And so when people send me a clip, if I'm going to use that clip, I go listen to that clip, I like that clip, and I comment on that clip to support the creator whose clip I'm going to use. You know what I mean? That's just what I do. I'm going to do that. But I say this to y'all. When you caught up in the propaganda, hyperbole, and shock value, man, you start feeling a way about things that don't even matter to you for real. You talk about feelings you have for things you really have no feelings for. You have that instant feeling that someone has made you feel. But let me tell you where it gets even trickier. This is where it gets even trickier. When you respond emotionally, you're in a whole group of other people, maybe hundreds or thousands of comments, and they're all responding emotionally. So what happens? Someone responds to you emotionally, not in a supportive manner, because when you're responding like this, most times it's anger. And when you're responding, you're never going to respond positively to someone else's response. So they're responding to you negatively. So what happens? You end up in a back and forth with somebody you don't even know about, some neither of y'all even care about. And then you get off there and you're emotionally drained. You ain't even got the emotionality you need to connect with your family, the people you should truly be emotional with. And it's a cycle. It's a cycle. And every day you find yourself online going back and forth with people. Man, let me tell you something. When I come in on stuff, I read a few comments and I just see how people, man, just say the most incendiary things to one another. The absolute most incendiary things to one another. And I'm like, bro, what are these people doing? Like, what is going on in your life that you need to say this to this complete stranger who isn't responsible for any of the things you have going on in your life? No matter how bad they are, this person has nothing to do with it. But that's what you get caught up in. You're sitting there and you're commenting on everything because you're listening to everything. You're consumed by everything. So not only does the content have you, the people in the comments responding to the content have you. So now, people have created full beef parties where they literally just go back and forth about everything. You got groups of people, man, to go back and forth about everything. That one come in on something, the other side go off. They come in on something, the other side go off. I'm like, man, what are these people doing with all this time you spending on here? I hope all of y'all are millionaires. While you up at 12 midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning scrolling, I hope you ain't got to get up and go clock in on somebody clock in the morning. If so, go to bed. But that's the world we live in. That's the world we live in. The number 7 way that social media robs you of your blessings: temptation of scantily clad women. That's for men, and men who intentionally try to entice women. That was this thing going on, man, a couple of I don't know, maybe a couple years ago or whatever, where and it was all over social media. You couldn't miss it. Like, you just couldn't miss it. Even if you're on as seldom as I be, you just couldn't miss it. People were talking about it. We've gotten to the point where even men slyway expose themselves in a way to try to entice women. Women have always exposed themselves in ways to try to entice men, but now you have the dudes doing the same thing. It has become like social media is an adult area now. Like, you shouldn't even let your kids be on social media. And the easiest thing is, wives find men to cheat with here because there are unscrupulous men seeking easy pleasure. It's a crazy world, man. You remember what was it? How to Catch a Predator. Y'all remember that? Look how many years ago that was. Even that long ago. Look at the actions that men were doing out here. Look at who they were meeting on those shows. Look how long ago that was. You think it got better since then or worse? You think it's easier since then or harder? You got to ask yourself, do you think it's easier or harder now to do these unscrupulous things? And I mean, listen, man, if you're a content creator, you're a content creator. You're creating content. Okay, that's if you're a content creator, if you're a full-time content creator, that's your job. You know what I'm saying? Being on social media is your job. Not all day, but being on social media is your job. Don't be ashamed of being a content creator. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. When you look at the world now, man, there are people who made millions as athletes, millions as entertainers, but they're content creators now. It's a gig economy. It's the new gig economy. So, what we're talking about is, don't let people knock you for being a content creator. But if you're not a content creator, you're just on there doing all that scrolling and all that, man. And granted, or even if you're not a full-time content creator, if you're a part-time content creator, if you just content creator as a side hustle, whatever it is that you're doing, and you're creating content for revenue, totally different thing. Even if you're not making the revenue, if your goal is to make revenue, cool, totally different thing. But that's not what we're talking about. As a matter of fact. So when you think about the fact that all of this temptation is there, man, temptation is everywhere. It's everywhere in the world. But man, social media makes it easy. Literally, all a woman has to do is post. Literally. That's all. That's why when it comes to like the home page, I never go to home pages, especially like on IG or anything. I never go to home pages. I never, if somebody send me a clip, I may scroll down a couple to see what other clips come up associated with that one. But that's it, man. I don't go to the home page. It's just it, even if you ain't gonna click on them, just the things you'll see, the types of women, how they expose themselves, how they can't even work out right without everything is something to entice or tempt someone. And that is one of the main things, man. Like, listen, and that's why I say, put yourself in a position, man, where the women you want, you got them in your life already. So you ain't got to be on social media doing all that. IG has literally become a dating app. IG is a dating app now. It's the new dating app. You hop in somebody's DM, see what's happening. Like it's the new app. And it ain't no real dating going on there. It's more mating than dating, but you got to think about it, man. That's just where we are right now. Social media can become whatever people turn it into because there's no one governing it. Yeah, it's governing individual accounts and individual posts, but man, you can't govern it. You cannot govern it. Like whatever you want to see, whatever you want to find, then you can find it. But not just on social media, on the internet. You can find it. You can look up how many spots are on the wing of a monarch butterfly, and it will give you the exact information, whether it's the same amount, whether the males or females have different amounts, whether it depends on where they live or if it's high altitude or not. You can get every single bit of information. If you want to know how much fur is on a baby grizzly bear, they will have the information for you, bro. I am telling you, it is whatever you want to seek on the internet, you can find it. But most of the temptation is on social media. Most of the temptation is. Now, the number 8 way that social media robs you of your blessings, information overload. Now, information overload is different for different people. Some of us can hold more information, but the more information you've already attained in life, the quicker it is for you to hit information overload. Information overload can make your quest for mental clarity next to impossible. Why? Because you got too many thoughts in your head. You can't even get to sleep at night because you've absorbed so much information. And now, when you start to slow down, here, I want y'all to understand how it works. When you're up and you're going and you're moving, you can absorb information a minute at a time. Literally, in 1 hour, you can absorb 60 pieces of 1 minute content. In 10 hours, you can absorb 600 pieces of 1 minute content. But when your mind starts slowing down for the night, all that content starts slowing down in your brain. All of it starts slowing down. And so the ones that really had an impact on you, they start flooding your brain. Now you up at 11 p.m. Been in bed since 9:30. You up at 11 p.m. thinking about content. Really giving some thought to what you've seen, the things that really resonated with you. Now they really resonate with you. So what do? More people now are taking sleep aids than any other time in history. And I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. A certain time of night, I can't stay awake. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what I'm doing. That's why I don't do late shows no more. I used to come on and do 10 o'clock shows sometime. Man, I can't do a 10 o'clock show. The top of my day is so busy. And then you throw the gym in there, man, or even home workouts, whatever you're doing. Man, you throw working out in there, man, and man, listen, bro, I don't even know how you still up at midnight. I can't do it. I can't be up at midnight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you busy, I don't know how you stay up to midnight, because if you're busy, you're gonna be back up the next morning at 5:30, 5:30, no later than 6. Really be at the gym at 6. So what we talking about, man, you just can't do it. You can't do it. Because here's the thing, too many thoughts make sleep restless. And when your sleep is restless, you've been asleep, man, but it feel like you've been up. It feel worse than you've been up. You know what I mean? When your sleep is restless, it feel like you've been up hanging upside down. It's bad. You know what I mean? It's really bad. And there's really nothing you can do about it. It's just a bad space to be. You know what I mean? It's a bad space to be. So you got to think about it, man. You want that mental clarity. You want to be relaxed. You want peace. Man, there ain't no peace with all that constant scrolling on social media, dog. There ain't no peace. There ain't no peace. Ain't no peace on social media, dog. You going on there spending all your time, man. You're looking at people motivational posts and all that, man. Come on, bro. If you can't self motivate better than the need to log on social media to get a motivational post, you need to look at your life. This ain't got nothing to do with motivation. It got something to do with your effort in your life. You know what I'm saying? You need to understand the effort you need to put in life, and that's the main thing. The number 9 way that social media robs you of your blessings is getting hacked or doxxed can be a nightmare for your personal and financial security. The more you're owned, the more information you give, the more likely it is that your information will be hacked and shared. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. If Twitter got hacked right now and everybody's information was released, would your information be a part of that? What about Facebook? What about IG? What about Google? Now, all of us can say yes to at least one of those, but how many of us can say yes to all of those? Overexposure of information is one of the worst things that's ever happened to this society. Because now you got groups who hack information and hold it for ransom. Why? Because when it comes to social media security and internet security, man, the US is light years behind other countries. Light years behind other countries. When I say light years, I mean light years. If we talk about Bitcoin, man, Bitcoin was not established in the States. It wasn't established in the States. Because technologically, bro, we are light years behind some other countries, especially some of those Asian countries. You know what I'm saying? Bro, we are a bunch of Eastern countries though. Man, we are light years behind them. Light years behind. Like those people do not have any of the creature comforts we have for the most part in most of their areas. But there's some people, man, that live in places that you wouldn't live that can hack into anything you got over here because our systems are light years behind. So that's one of the main things about always being around, always having your information all around, trying to join up on everything and be a part of everything and posting everything. And also, when it comes to physical personal security, you look at some of the rappers, look at the rapper Pop Smoke. He got jammed up and they came in the house on him in Hollywood. Why? Well, he was in Hollywood or Beverly Hills, one or the other. But they came in on him. He was out there, doing some work, doing some music work, and he was staying in the house, renting the house. And they ran up on him. Why? Because he was posting away what he did on social media. First, he had a shot with the address of the house on there, with just a picture outside with the house number on the house. And then he took a picture of some shopping he had just did, and then on the bag, it had the address on the house. I don't know if he had, picked it up or got it sent to him or whatever, but the address of the home was on the bag. His name and the address of the home was on the bag. Within 2 days, man, they was in there on him, and he ain't make it out of there. I'm telling you, bro, you have to be aware of what you're doing when you're moving around on the internet, man. It's a different ball game out there. It's a different ball game. And the number 10 reason that social media robs you of your blessing is, and this is a big one. This is one of the main ones. You lose your personal relationships, and they're replaced with social media likes and shares. Can you imagine following your brother on social media? You talk to this fool every day and y'all follow each other on social media. People ask why my social media followings on everything are so low. Like you can't go nowhere and find me following more than 50 people. You just can't. Why? Because if when it comes to social media, if I don't listen to your content or know you, or we've met and chopped it up and and shook hands, had a meal, and oh, man, I'm not following you. And when it comes to people that I know in my personal life, I ain't following nobody. I don't follow people I know. Follow you for what? Anything you about to post, you probably already told me. What I'm a like something that I already know for. I just don't do it. You know, unless they're a content creator. They're not a content creator. Man, I don't follow nobody I know. I just don't do it. You know what I mean? Because I have personal relationships with people. You know what I'm saying? I don't email people I know. You know what I mean? I don't DM people I know. I call people I know. Maybe text them. But I call or text people I know. I don't use social media or the internet to interact with people that I know personally at all. I just don't do it. Now, if I got to send a file or something, then I may do that via email or Dropbox or something like that. But when it comes to just personal interaction, I don't follow anybody that I know personally who's not a content creator. I just don't do it. You know what I'm saying? I love to have personal relationships. I told y'all, man, I'm a true OG. I love personal relationships. I love to go be out somewhere and meet a woman face to face, see her, meet her, and like get that attraction confirmation and then talk to her. Establish something right there. I ain't doing that right now. Maybe we just hang out for a few hours today. What you got going on, baby girl? Man, I'm just here doing this. I tell you what, then you just follow me to my crib and park there, and then when we get back, I'll drop you back out to your car. All right, cool. Now, why she gonna do that? Because she feel my energy. My energy positive. She looking at me. I don't look like, sound like, talk like, dress like, smell like, or even have the energy of a man that gonna do something bad to her. She's comfortable, and so we go. That's the world I'm from. I'm not from the world where you see somebody and you got to believe that what you see on IG is who she really is, or what you got to believe what you see on Snap or what you see on that's who she really is. I don't want to do that. I want to see you in person so I can know that this is who you really are. You understand me? So, all right, man. I appreciate y'all being in the joint. It's been real, man. We'll do a quick recap. 10 ways social media robs you of your blessings. Number one, letting your charitable acts be known and cheered will get you your one return on investment, which is validation dopamine, which means that you won't get the other blessings. You won't get financial blessings. You won't get financial increase. You won't get the other things that could possibly come with being a giving person because you have received your blessing already. Number two, sharing your opinions on everything, whether misguided or not, it can cause you to receive enough support for negative ideas that'll make you think they're positive in your mind. Number three, wasting time scrolling, absorbing irrelevant information. You got to remember, time is irreplaceable, so using it productively is paramount to anything you want to do successfully in this life. Also, you only have so many hours of brain productivity daily, and it takes that to process all information. So, wasting it on scrolling and that irrelevant information will limit your growth in all areas of life. Number four, embracing the metaverse as an effective alternative to the universe. That's a crazy thing to do, but what's even worse is allowing the metaverse to become your reality. That way, you can't even decipher whether the consequences and repercussions for the act you're doing are going to come because you don't know if you're doing them in the metaverse or the real world or the universe. You understand me? Metaverse versus universe is a real thing. Believe me when I tell you. Number five, judging righteousness by material wealth. Everyone is thanking God for what they possess. And most people who possess worldly things that brag about them all the time, it's all they have. They don't have any righteousness. We jumped into Proverbs 11 and 4, Proverbs 10 and 22, and Proverbs 13 and 22. You go check those out again if you need to do that. Number six, it drives you to emotionality over rationality. Why? Because propaganda, hyperbole, and shock value are meant to make you feel, not think. And so you're going to respond emotionally and get emotional responses from other people to which you respond emotionally, to which they respond emotionally, to which you respond emotionally, to which, and so on and so forth. And it could go on as long as you wanted to. Y'all, listen, y'all can have a whole page with just y'all going back and forth with big paragraphs because you're already caught up in that emotionality. Number seven, temptation of scantily clad women and also those men who intentionally entice your wife. So you got scantily clad women who intentionally entice husbands, and you got men who intentionally entice wives. And wives find men to cheat with on social media easily because there are many unscrupulous men seeking easy pleasure. And the easiest pleasure in their mind is a woman who already taken by somebody who got to take whatever little time she can get to come do this, and then she got to go back. Number eight, information overload can make your quest for mental clarity next to impossible. Mental clarity is important. Most people don't have it, so they don't know the significance of it. If you don't have peace of mind, you don't know the significance of peace of mind. You think you're functioning properly. Everything is good. You're moving throughout life. The moment you get peace of mind, you're like, oh my God, what have I been missing? And also, too many thoughts make your sleep restless. And when your sleep is restless, you spending every day like you haven't had rest. Eventually, you're going to crash out. And the first thing that crashes, you crash out mentally. The mental crash out is real. Number 9, you can get hacked or doxxed. And when those accounts are hacked or doxxed, it can be a nightmare for your personal and financial security. And number 10, you lose your personal relationships to social media likes and shares. So you don't even know people anymore. You know likes and shares. You know social media profiles. You know avatars. You know screen names. And these are the 10 ways that social media, the evil side of social media, can rob you of your blessings if you don't develop the intense resistance to temptation. All right, brothers, I appreciate y'all being in the building. Got a couple of super chats here, man. I see my boy Royalty. Royalty, salute. Put God first. Keep grinding and growing. Salute. And I got Herring here, man. Salute to you. The devil is still moving, but God's love and protection is still proven. Man, there it is, man. Hundreds of blessings. All right, brothers, let's get ready to get out of here, man. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. I will catch y'all on the next one, and the next one will be tomorrow. We'll be back here tomorrow, man. Tomorrow's Friday. We'll be back in tomorrow. We'll end the week real strong, man. All right, man. So we're going to head on out of here. Y'all put God first. Keep grinding and growing, my brothers. Peace.